Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. Glad you can join us once again. When I say you, I mean everybody out there watching now and in the replay. So I'm going to take a little time before I jump right into the subject matter because I want everybody to come on in. I've been told, like I've said on the other lives, that if I start talking about the subject matter too soon, there's a delay. In other words, they catch me on the tail end of what I'm saying, and I don't like that. So please, guys, come on in and come on in the chat and introduce yourselves. Matter of fact, tell me where you're from. I don't mind a little small talk before the live. What city are you from? Type it in the chat and all that good stuff. Okay, guys. Calibrate Tools and DIY lives are brought to you by you know who, Calibrate.com. That's our sponsor. Okay. And on this channel, we're all about tools, guys. Tools, home improvement, DIY, right? We heavily promote trade skills. I believe that's one of the avenues out of your predicament, right? If you don't have a job, or if you need to learn something, you don't have time to go spend tons of money to go get a certificate or a degree. Sometimes you can just go to your local trade school or nonprofit that's offering classes on how to learn a particular trade, and maybe 4 weeks down the line, 10 weeks down the line, you got a certification, say in welding. I am a welding instructor, by the way, and you're on your way, guys. You're on your way into a career in some trade, or you can start your own business, right? You can start your own enterprise. You don't necessarily have to look for a job if you have certain skills that you've gained in a short amount of time. Okay, guys. So, guys, come on in the chat and say hi. Uh, Say hi and don't be a stranger. So, guys, today's topic, I'm gonna jump right into it, is energy efficient homes can get you paid. Energy efficient homes can get you paid, guys, and that's real. That's real. Now, in order to make your home energy efficient, you may have to spend a little money, but in the long term, you save tons and tons of money. Matter of fact, the government today even right now, is paying people in terms of tax credits to make their home energy efficient, right? Matter of fact, I ran across an article that says $3,200 in tax credits are available for some home improvements, the IRS says. Okay. It says IRS, that you can't get any more government than that, right? So it says $3,200 in tax credits are available for some home improvements, right? Some energy efficient updates could qualify you as a homeowner for that amount of money. Okay, they have this thing called the Inflation Reduction Act, okay, of 2022, which includes credits for taxpayers who make qualifying energy improvements to their home, according to the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, you can claim, guys, the energy efficient home improvement credit. That's one of them. Or you can claim, and you can claim the residential clean energy credit. Okay, so if you make improvements on your primary residence, okay, you have most of the credit opportunities there. But even if you own a second home, it says but it can't be a rental home. But if you own a second home that's also a residence, you can also claim credits, right? So that's what's out there. And if I were you in that position, I would try to claim as much as I can, especially with the price of everything going up, price of gas, price of this, price of that. So take advantage of whatever the breaks they're trying to give you or give us. Okay, so let's look a little bit more into that. First of all, let me tap in here. Let's tap in and see. Okay, nobody's in the chat yet. Come on in the chat, guys, and say hi. All right, introduce yourselves in the chat. Tell me where you're from as we continue this discussion. All right, so it says that the energy efficient home improvement credit, okay, it equals about 30% of qualified energy efficient improvements, right, including exterior doors, windows, and skylights. Okay, so you want to make those efficient. Insulation and air sealing materials or systems, central air conditioners, natural gas, propane, or oil water heaters, natural gas, propane, or oil furnaces, and hot water boilers, heat pumps, water heaters, biomass stoves, and boilers, home energy audits of a main home. Okay, those are some of the categories, guys, that you can claim tax credits in. All right, Most people can get their insulation done. Right? They can get their now air sealing is a whole other deal, right? You're talking about sealing windows, doors, even sealing where the drywall meets the frame of the top frame plate of the house framing and all of that, caulking that up, sealing that up. That's a whole nother level there. But if you want to go that route and get these tax credits. Maybe it's not worth it for you. Maybe you don't care, but some people, hey, that $3,200 can go a long way, right? If you got a water heater, you may want to swap it out. If it's not a natural gas or propane or oil water heaters, you may want to swap it out for one of those natural gas, propane, or oil furnaces as well, and hot water boilers. And then, of course, it talks about heat pumps and biomass stoves. What's a biomass stove? Anybody know what that is? Somebody tell me what a biomass stove is in the chat. Biomass stove. Let's see what that is. I'm assuming that it's a clean energy type of stove, right? Let me look that up there. Let me look that up. Biomass stove. All right. All right. Biomass stoves burn biomass fuel to heat a home or heat water. Biomass fuel includes agricultural crops and trees, wood, and wood waste. Okay, so it's pretty much natural fuel, right? When you're talking about crops, trees, and wood and all that, it's natural fuels. Instead of using fossil fuels, I'm assuming, to heat stuff, it's using naturally, not that fossil fuel is not naturally occurring, it's in the ground, but it's not as harmful to the environment to extract. You're talking about, just crops and trees and wood that's laying around in the woods somewhere. Okay. And so, yeah, biomass stoves. Interesting concept. Learn something every day. Okay. So if you adjust or you retrofit your home to have these energy efficient elements in them, you can gain some money. What's the maximum amount you can claim each year? Here are the maximum amounts you can claim. You can claim $1,200 for energy property costs and certain energy efficient home improvements with limits on doors. It says $250 per door and $500 total. Windows, $600, and home energy audits, $150. $2,000 per year for qualified heat pumps, biomass stoves, or biomass boilers. We just talked about those. Let's talk about what's not covered, guys. What's not covered? The credit is not. The credit said is available only for qualifying expenditures, which is what we just talked about. What we just, the categories we just talked about, for an existing home, or for an addition or renovation of an existing home, and not for a newly constructed home. Interesting why they're leaving out newly constructed homes. All right, it's non-refundable, which means taxpayers cannot get back more from the credit than what is owed in taxes, and in any case, credit cannot be carried to future tax years. I mean, in any excess, credit cannot be carried to future years. So you better, use whatever you can. If you're going to do this, use it all up, right? I mean, use it all up because you can't carry it into the future, right? So it's kind of those one-time things where you just got to take advantage of it all. Then there's the residential clean energy credit. And it says taxpayers who invest in energy improvements for their main home, including solar, wind, geothermal, fuel cells, or battery storage, may qualify for an annual residential clean energy tax credit. I used to be in the solar industry myself. I don't know if it took off like it was projected to. It's definitely taken off a bit, but yeah, solar is pretty interesting, right? You're harvesting sunlight to produce electricity. And I think I'm going to do a video on how solar panels work at some point. But it's interesting how sunlight hits the solar panel, the solar cell, right? Which is made up of, it's like a very thin plate of glass and has what they're called photovoltaic cells, right? So when the sunlight hits it, it produces an electric charge. And you got a bunch of these cells on this big panel. And of course, exponentially, that electric charge produces a voltage, right? And you can harvest that. And that's why you see solar farms and solar panels all over the place, because it's a very interesting technology. But I tend to think that way back in the day, and I don't want to get all, conspiracy theorist type thing. I think that other civilizations knew how to do this stuff. harness the power of the sun and even other certain environmental energies that we don't even do now, right? And but that's a whole other conversation. So yeah, you can if you have solar, wind, or geothermal fuel cells, battery storage, you can qualify for the annual, and that's annual, okay? Every year, residential clean energy tax credit. Taxpayers may also be able to claim the credit for some improvements other than fuel cell property expenditures made to a second home that they live in part-time, as long as it's not used as a rental property for others. Okay, so what does a residential, and I'm going to jump into some ways you could make your home energy efficient, guys. I just wanted to go over there what the government's offering right now. Okay, and I'm not getting paid for this by the government, by the way. So residential clean energy credit equals like the other one I just mentioned, which is the energy efficient home improvement credit. It equals about 30% of the cost of new qualified energy property installed anytime from 2022 to 2023. Okay, so these are the categories that qualify for this credit. All right, solar electric panels, solar water heaters, wind turbines, geothermal heat pumps, fuel cells, battery storage technology, guys. Okay, and you may say, okay, what battery storage? Yeah, because anytime you harvest solar energy, if you really want to optimize solar panels, all right, or harvesting the sun, you have to have a way to store that energy, and that's in batteries. Okay, so it comes in, batteries are connected to it, and all that stuff is stored in batteries. Okay, I'm assuming with all the other methods as well, renewable energy like wind turbines and geothermal heat pumps and fuel cells, all that stuff. Gotta have a place to store it. What other requirements are there that you need to meet? It includes, includes solar water heaters must be certified by the Solar Rating Certification Corporation or a comparable entity endorsed by the applicable state. Geothermal heat pumps must meet Energy Star requirements in effect at the time of purchase. And battery storage technology must have a capacity of at least 3 kilowatt hours. Right. So those are the requirements there that you need to meet that particular credit, the residential credit. What is that? The residential clean energy credit, guys. Okay. So that's what the government's offering. That's what the government's offering right now in terms of tax credits to make your home or building more energy efficient. So if you're in that world, if you have those assets and you want to save money on an annual basis, if you have a home or residence, and if you want to take care of the other one, the tax credit that I mentioned before that. Let's see what the name of that one slipping my mind again. Energy efficient home improvement credit, and I suggest you do so if you're all about that that bread. You're all about saving that money in any way you can, especially like I said with everything going up, guys. But there are other ways, guys, that you can get paid just by making your home more energy efficient. I really urge you to listen to this as I read some of the ways that you can do that. Some of the things we don't even think about. We don't even know about the ways that we're wasting money, okay, wasting energy in our own homes, okay, and it doesn't require you to put a solar panel on the home. It doesn't require you to put a wind turbine in the backyard. None of that. All right, it's just simple things you can do to make your home more energy efficient. Because the more energy you waste in terms of heat and other factors, the more money that you're throwing down the drain. Okay, so let's talk about some ways, guys. Let's talk about some ways to make your home more energy efficient. So let's talk about different areas of the home. Let's start with the kitchen. Start with the kitchen, guys. Tell me if you think this is interesting. Okay, it says scrape rather than rinse dishes before loading them into the dishwasher. Right. And wash only full loads to maximize your dishwasher's use. This will help in reducing water waste and your water expenses. I know some of you are saying, well, how long am I supposed to wait till my dishes pile up to the ceiling before I wash to save money? I know a lot of you guys not going to do that, but that's what it says, right? And it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, you're just washing like like 2 dishes in the dishwasher, and the dishwasher is taking, it's taking all this energy and electricity just to operate, but you want to use it anyway because you don't want to wash dishes with your hands in the sink. I suggest if it's like that, just go ahead and wash the dishes in the sink, right? Or wait till rather than throw 2 or 3 dishes in the dishwasher before just to use the dishwasher. It doesn't make sense. You're just wasting money right there. All right. Here's another one. If you're guilty of opening your oven, guys, people who like to bake and all that good stuff, like to heat up their food in the oven. You like to go and check on your food. Oh, let me look at it, see how it looks. You get off on looking at the dough rise in the pan or whatever you get off on. You're wasting so much money just opening that oven every now and then. Okay, keep it closed until it's done. Okay, so it says opening the door can reduce the heat in the oven, okay, by as much as 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So resist the urge to peer inside, as doing so will make your oven have to work harder, therefore using more energy. Okay, get that, guys. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Let it do its thing. The more you disturb it, the more money you're wasting and the longer it's going to take. All right. Keep a full freezer, guys. Keep a full freezer. It uses less energy than an empty one. How many of you guys knew that? If you keep a full freezer, you save energy, right? I didn't know that. Hey, Claudette, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in and supporting there. Claudette says, I wonder how that works for if your home is your business address. Very interesting. You're talking about the tax credits. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to look into that, Claudette. I'll have to look into that. Very good question. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what else we can talk about in terms of saving energy for your home. All right, for all us dirty people out there that don't like to clean, I'm gonna take that back, and I'm not gonna call you dirty like that. Sometimes I take a little bit long to clean my fridge though. All right, cleaning your refrigerator coils. Okay, those coils on the back of your refrigerator, and that you just ignore it, you don't see it and everything, just ignore it. Well, all kinds of dust and debris can build up back there because of neglect, and those coils are responsible for your refrigerator working properly, by the way. Okay, and when dust and debris collect on them, they can't conduct heat like they need to, or freon like they need to. Okay, and it prevents the refrigerator from working like it should, and as a result, you end up it ends up working harder than it should, and you end up using more energy, which equates to you losing money on the back end. So yeah, it's these little things, guys. Okay, keep your freezer full. That's one we just mentioned. All right, quit checking the oven every 2 minutes when you just put something in there to bake, and clean the back of your fridge. Those 3 things just already tells you, man, I need, probably most of us don't even do this stuff. Keep your pots and pans clean. Keep your pots and pans clean. The cleaner the surface, the more efficiently they can transfer heat. If possible, use copper bottomed pots and pans as these transfer heat more efficiently. How many of us knew that, right? Dirty pots and pans, we'll cook something on the stove the night before, and then in the morning we'll use the same dirty pot. I'm not saying you do it, but I've done it. Okay, to cook again, right? And we're losing money that way, right? Because it's not clean. It's not conducting heat because of it's not clean. So, so that's one thing. So when I looked at this, I was like, man, this is. It's always the little things that'll get you, right? That you ignore in life that'll mess you up, right? That you end up losing on the back end. You neglect the little things, and then you end up losing on the back end. Okay, so we got to keep our pots and pans clean. This is all about energy efficiency right here. We're not talking about installing $50,000 worth of solar panels on your roof or putting some really expensive water heater in. This is just simple things we can do right now to save money, to make make our homes more energy efficient, okay, and keep money in our pockets. Here's another one: let hot, warm food sit and reduce to room temperature before putting it in the fridge. What? And did you guys hear that? we should let warm food sit first before putting it in the fridge, right? Your refrigerator uses extra energy to cool down food. How many of us knew that? How many of us knew that? Claudette, did you know that? Claudette says yes. Claudette says I sound like a true bachelor. Yeah. Hey, sometimes it's like that, Claudette. No. Perry Girl Life Notes says I sound like a true bachelor. Sorry about that. Perry Girl Life Notes. I hear you. Yeah, I could be considered that at times. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump back into this list. Okay. Opt for microwaves or toaster ovens to rewarm food. They use less energy than using your oven. I don't know. I don't know about that one, to be honest. I do not know about that one. I heard a lot of things about microwaves, man. They nuke all the nutrients in your food, right? I haven't done the scientific research on that. I have not done, like I said, I have not read upon it, but I heard about it, that microwaves, you might as well just be eating cardboard or something like that. You might, because it nukes all the nutrients out of there. Somebody tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I prefer to warm my food up on the stove. Now, toaster ovens is different. I don't think they nuke any nutrients or anything like that. It's not a microwave, right? I can deal with the toaster oven thing, and I do eat microwave food, but it's not because I really want to. But at times, you're so busy that you got to use it. So I'm kind of iffy on that one. But yeah, toaster oven or maybe even a hot plate, I'll take any day. Okay. All right. So we talked about the kitchen, ways to save money in the kitchen, by all that stuff. Any of you guys out there here on the replay surprised about hearing some of those things I just mentioned? I mean, kind of blew my mind. Keep your freezer full. Clean your pots and pans. All this stuff helps you to save energy more efficiently. Okay. Let's jump into the bath and the laundry side of things of the home and see how we can save energy there. All right, so it says do several loads of laundry in one stint every week and dry the loads back to back in order to capture residual heat in the dryer. All right. It says do several loads of laundry in one stint every week, right? So not throughout the week. You're using laundry on Tuesday and using the washer and dryer on Tuesday, and then you're using it again on Thursday. Yeah, I mean, you might as well just do the laundry at one time every week, right? Because the more the washer and dryer, that's one of the biggest energy suckers in your home, right? So it just makes sense to just do it at one time, get it out of the way instead of using it multiple times throughout the week just to wash maybe 2 or 3 pairs of items of clothing, right? Because I need to be clean. Let me throw my t-shirt and whatever else and that's all you throw in there. It's kind of like the dishwasher now, what they mentioned about the dishwasher. Don't just throw 2 or 3 dishes in the dishwasher because you don't like washing dishes, right? It's the same with the laundry. Don't just, unless you have an event or something that you got to attend and you have to have this thing clean and you need to wash it, that one item, right? Other than that, you should wash everything at a certain time once a week and all that to save energy, because these things will suck your energy out there, your money out of your pocket. All right. What else about the bath and laundry? It says, suggest replacing a top loading washing machine with a front loader, which generally uses 50% less energy and a third less water. Okay. Anybody know what a top loader or a front loader is? I think a front loader is when it's, it's facing you versus something you got to open up from the top. So it says the front loader saves 50% less energy. I mean, uses 50% less energy than and a third less water. Interesting. Very interesting. Keeping your clothes out of a dryer extends their life, reducing energy use, and it cuts costs. Okay. Keeping your clothes out of a dryer extends their life. I get it. You dry your clothes too much, they're going to get faded. They're going to all that stuff. That extreme heat in the dryer. Whether indoors or outside, line drying can be done year round. As an additional bonus, an indoor drying rack during the winter months doubles as a humidifier. Interesting. Well, hey, I grew up, okay, washing clothes and putting them on the line. I don't know about you guys, but I've been around for a minute, okay? We didn't always have a washer and dryer, but we had a line and with the clothespins and all that, you know? And that's what we did when I was coming up. All right. So you definitely can save money that way. Install low flow features like faucet aerators in your home, and in order to conserve water and cut down on your water bill. Okay, low flow. So I guess they got low flow faucets. Interesting. According to Kohler, many high efficiency toilets, and we're getting into the toilets now, on the market use as little as 1.2 GPF, which can add up to a savings of 3,000 gallons of water per toilet per year. Kind of makes sense because every time you flush that toilet, that's a lot of water coming through that thing, right? And according to what it's saying right here, you got high efficiency toilets. Anybody ever heard of a high efficiency toilet? Claudette says yes. So I'm getting back to the chat, guys, a little late and responding. Fairy Girl Life Note says better to use toaster oven than microwave. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Claudette's laughing at a brother over there. Okay. Yeah, I know I could be a little funny sometimes. All right, let's continue. Let's continue, guys. I want you guys to save money. Okay. Wrapping a fiberglass blanket around your water heater and securing it with duct tape. Man, that sounds like a lot of work, right? Or installing a ready-made insulation kit can save up to 10% on water costs. How does wrapping a blanket around a water heater save on water costs? I don't know. So in other words, essentially you're keeping the water heater warm by wrapping a blanket around it. So I guess it would heat your water better because you're keeping the water heater itself warm. Am I correct? Tell me if I'm not right, but that's what I'm getting from that. That's interesting. You gotta baby your water heater in order for it to work right. Interesting. Most new water heaters are already insulated, so this tip is most effective for heaters that are more than 5 years old. Okay, gotcha. So if it's older than 5 years, most likely it's not as insulated as the newer ones. Additionally, insulate your hot water pipes in order to reduce heat loss. Insulated pipes reach farther points faster than non-insulated ones. How do you insulate your pipes? I guess you put those. I don't know if you guys ever seen a pipe, but it has a sleeve around it. It has like a kind of like a foam-like sleeve around it. I guess that's what they mean by insulating your pipes. So you pretty much gotta baby your heaters, whether it's water heater, pipes. You got to put some kind of insulation around them. Okay, here we go. If you're if you're on the hunt for a new water heater, consider purchasing a tankless water heater. My brother had a tankless water heater. He just put it on the wall. It's very interesting piece of equipment. These units only heat the necessary water needed via an electric coil. Interesting technology, guys. Tankless water heaters. Look into that. Okay, maybe we'll do a video on that later and talk about how it works. All right, now we're going to get into the heating and cooling systems of your home and see how we can save money there, okay, by being more energy efficient. Here we go. Try your hand at landscaping. How many of you guys got a green thumb? It says the EPA suggests planting trees that lose their leaves on the western and southern sides of your home. In the summer, the trees will provide shade and block infrared radiation, keeping your house cooler. Okay, makes sense. In the winter, when the trees lose their leaves, they will allow more sunlight to reach the windows and warm your home. That's a very interesting use of agriculture efficiently, right? To warm your home and cool your home in the summer. Very interesting. You wait till the leaves fall off in the I'm assuming in the in the winter, and so you got sunlight warming your home during the cooler times in the winter because the leaves are not there to block the sunlight. So right, I like that. And then you got in the summertime, you got the leaves to block the heat to keep your house cooler in the summertime. So yeah, that's a good hack right there. They call them hacks. Anybody ever heard that word hack? That's a good landscaping hack to to be more energy efficient. All right. Let's see here. All right. So let's go. You guys enjoying this information? I know I am. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a whole lot right here. All right. It says switch to a whole house fan. What's a whole house fan? Anybody know what that is? A fan uses less electricity than central air conditioning. So using a whole house fan to pull cool air into the house at night through open windows can make economic sense. Such a fan is usually installed in the attic. Okay. The attic floor. Yeah, because I know it's not a regular fan. I never heard of a whole house fan. In the morning, close the windows and draw the shades or blinds. The house should stay relatively cool all day long. When outside air cools in the evening, open the windows and turn on the fan to pull in cooler air. Be sure to open enough windows so that the fan doesn't pull air from a crawl space or garage. Whole house fan. That's a new one to me. I'm gonna have to look into that. Upgrade your insulation, guys, by adding insulation to prevent any leaky ducts, walls, windows, doors. Can improve your home's energy draw by 20 to 30%. I think we all kind of know about the insulation thing. You got to insulate your house correctly, because in the winter, that cold air is going to come in. You're going to want to turn the heat on. So if you got it insulated properly to block the cold air from coming in, then you don't have to use the heat as much, okay, or as intensely to warm yourselves, which is going to save you on the energy bill. In the summertime, same thing, right? You don't want the air leaking out if you're using central air, which will, cause you to lose money as well. Install a reflective pull-down ladder. A reflective pull-down ladder attic insulator as an additional heat saver. What what is a reflective pull-down? I guess those ladders you pull down from the attic. It prevents to get into the attic, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. It prevents warm air from escaping into your attic. Okay. Keep your house warm by setting your ceiling fan backward, counterclockwise during the cold months. How many of you knew that? And not only that, how do you even set a ceiling fan backwards? I guess there's a setting on it that you can make it spin backwards. It says hot air rises and the fan blades will better circulate the warm air. So during the wintertime, you want to make sure if you got a ceiling fan that you're able to set it where it spins backwards, counterclockwise. Very interesting information, guys. I know you guys are taking notes here. Okay. By the way, this information is coming from choicehomewarranty.com. Okay, so you guys can check it out on there. It says I think the title is 50 tips for an energy efficient home. So if you want to look this information up, go ahead and do so. All right. What else, guys? What else? What else we looking at here? You guys got any ideas for me before I continue that I didn't mention yet? All right, let's see. All right, here we go. You can save additional energy by lowering the setting on your water heater from the usual 140 degrees Fahrenheit to 120. Okay. For every 10 degrees of temperature is lowered, you save 3 to 5% in energy costs. Right? So that, your water heater, as much as we love our water heaters, we can't do without them. They can be sucking our energy too when we really don't need them, right? So I know we like to take our hot showers, super hot showers sometimes, but is that really necessary? Yeah. We can turn it down a little bit, Moving furniture and drapes away from vents may amount to only $20 or so in annual savings, says this guy, founder of Green and Save. But improving airflow makes incremental improvements to the whole heating and cooling systems. Okay, so that's moving them away from furniture and drapes away from vents. Okay, heating and cooling your home costs an average of more than $1,000 a year. So it's clear that choosing an upgraded HVAC system, okay, heating, ventilation, air conditioning system, if you don't know what HVAC means, will help you save energy and money. So you might have to upgrade. You might have to upgrade your HVAC system, right? Because it may not be working as efficiently as you need it to work, right? And it may not, so they have what's called Energy Star rated HVAC. You may want to install that. over what you have, which is a non-rated system, most likely if it's older, and that can increase your home's energy efficient up to like almost 10%, right? So every small percentage counts, guys. Every small percentage counts. Install door sweeps in order to flush the gap between your doors and flooring. Door sweeps attached to the inside of the door near the bottom edge and consists of a brush. You guys seen those, right? On the bottom of doors. They look like little brooms, brushes attached to the bottom of the door. And so it said they consist of a brush or a pad that contacts the edge of the threshold at the door shuts. Okay. Change the air filters in your furnace if you got a furnace. By changing out your dirty furnace filters, air can circulate much easier, and therefore your furnace works less. Some of this stuff is just common sense, guys. It's just common sense maintenance, do-it-yourself maintenance that you don't necessarily have to call some expensive service, handyman service. And I'm all about handyman, all about fixing stuff. But this is stuff you can do yourself, right, to save you money. And then, see the difference the next year. Look at your energy bill the next year. Look at how much cost savings that you racked up the next year just by doing these little things. It says close the vents in your rooms you use less frequently in your home. You can save energy and money by only heating or cooling rooms that are occupied. Once again, common sense stuff, right? You got these vents open, right? You got the AC blasting, and it's going into rooms that nobody's in. And if you got a big house, it's going into rooms that nobody's probably ever in, right? So why don't you just close those vents up and have all that cool air just get channeled where most people are most of the time, which is probably the living room most of the time, or whatever, your favorite bedroom or whatever. Okay, common sense stuff, people. All right, let's talk about windows. I know this live is a little long here, but this is some good information. This is some really good information right here. Okay, windows, guys. All right, a cheaper fix than re-insulating your entire home. Thermal shades, okay, will block the sun in the summer and retain heat in the winter. It's kind of like the trees, right, that we talked about, right? According to EnergyStar.gov, replacing windows will save 7 to 24% of your heating and air conditioning bills. Okay, we love our windows, but are they really saving us money? All right, so we may have to replace them, over time, so we can get something out of them. We don't just want them looking good. We want them being having a utility as well, right? Having a function to them. And saving money is the best function as far as I'm concerned. The largest savings come from replacing single glazed windows. Replace your aluminum window frames with vinyl frames, guys. Okay, aluminum frames transfer heat very easily, and that's true. Matter of fact, here's an analogy in welding. When you're welding aluminum transfers heat out of all the metals. Steel, stainless steel, mild steel. Aluminum dissipates heat the fastest, right? It dissipates heat the fastest. So that's true right there. Aluminum frames transfer heat very easily, while vinyl frames are much more resistant to heat transfer, right? And you think about it, so vinyl is kind of like plastic. It's not gonna, it's not like metal where the heat just spreads like that. And aluminum, it spreads the fastest. Tint your windows. By tinting your windows, you will keep unwanted heat and cold out of your home. Everybody knows that. Anybody who's tinted their car windows. But who tints their house windows? Anybody ever seen that? Install storm windows and storm doors to help shut out the drafts and add extra insulation. Okay, guys, this is some good stuff. Some good stuff, right? Let's see here. Okay, what about electricity and lights? What about those lights? You can buy replacement wall-mounted switches, okay, that turn off on their own, turn on and off on their own. We know that. You can walk into a room and they got the sensors on them. They can turn off on and off on their own. So you're not going to forget to turn the lights off, right? It's going to turn off on their own. That's always good. And they got those in cars too, right? Install dimmers on all bulbs to save energy and extend their life. Also consider timers and sensors for your indoor and outdoor lighting. Additionally, solar-powered outdoor lights are an energy-free option. Yeah, yeah. Anything solar, you're going to win with that, right? Sometimes the initial cost, though, for solar, and I'm talking about the panels on the roof and stuff, not necessarily the lights. They can initially it'll cost you, but in in the long run, your energy savings in the long run is going to be, you're going to be pleased with that. Switch to LED or CFL light bulbs. Check out Lighting Science for bulbs that can help with your sleep. Okay, that's a plug to some other company, I guess. Wakefulness and Event Gardening. Okay, so Lighting Science, I just gave you a free plug. Okay, so don't forget that. Most appliances still use power even when they are turned off, and I think I covered this in another energy efficient live I did. Yeah, it's called. I think they call them trace electricity or something. I forget the actual term of it, but you think it's off and it's draining your electricity still. All right. Yeah, it's called vampire power, and the devices are still collecting power even when they're off. So what you want to do is unplug them. Okay, unplug them, and for a quicker fix, try to connect appliances to power strips that you can turn off at once. Right. So if you get, instead of trying to go around to each device, if all of the devices, right, that have vampire power uh, are connected to one power strip, all you got to do is turn that one power strip off, and it'll turn everything off instead of jumping around trying to figure out what has vampire power draining your power. Prevent drafty outlets by purchasing and installing inexpensive switches and receptacle gaskets. The gaskets made of non-electrically conductive fiber mat material, okay, fit snugly around the switch or receptacle after the cover plate's removed. All right. What's a drafty outlet? Anybody know what a drafty outlet is? I guess it's an outlet that's not sealed properly, right? And then air can escape through the sides. You know, you ever see those outlets where it's gaps, stuff like that on the sides of the outlet? So I guess you're going to have gaskets to help seal those outlets because air can escape as well throughout there, into the walls and all that stuff. You know, air can come in as well. All right. Let's see here. Paragraph Life Notes. Paragraph Life Notes says, minor changes saves hundreds. That's so true, Paragraph Life Notes. It's the little things, man. It's the little things that can save you so much in life, right? And this is just a prime example of it, right under our noses. I mean, who'd have thought that cleaning your pots and pans is going to save on your energy bill, or wrapping your water heater in with a blanket, like a little kid, like it's a kid that needs a blanket, right? It's gonna save, right, or allow it to work better. But it all makes sense, right? These little things that we're reading about, that we're learning about today, all make sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. Okay. All right. So what about your purchasing habits? It says, get a home energy audit. Home energy audits can be conducted by inspectors who specialize in single family homes, or by technicians who work with local weatherization programs or utilities. A good energy audit assesses air levels, indoor air quality, insulation, combustion safety, and the durability of building components. Okay, now you're getting deep into inspector stuff. Okay, so if you want to do all that and you really want to be gung ho about energy efficiency, just go ahead and purchase a home energy audit. Pay for it and get all that stuff done. It says it won't save energy by itself, but carrying out the recommended improvements from the audit will save you energy. Consider switching your energy type. What does that mean? Homeowners who take advantage of natural gas appliances for heating, cooking, and drying clothes spend about 30% less than households that rely on electricity. All right, that very well may be true, right? But of course, you'll have the people out there that say, well, extracting that natural gas from the earth is what is it? It's not efficient, okay, or it's actually unhealthy for the earth, if that's a term, right? And all of that. So that has to do with the EPA and all, getting into that. But if you're not concerned about the extraction of the natural gas and what happens there, then and you just care about your home, then don't worry about it. It's all up to you. Let's see. Computers on screensaver mode. Okay, each one of us has a computer. Are using a decent amount of power. Okay, in some cases, twice as much. Instead, put your computer in sleep mode or turn the screen off to reduce the energy drain. That's the vampire power we were talking about, the devices. Okay, got to watch those. A lot of times we leave our laptops open, we leave our computers on, we go to bed, not knowing that it's stealing our energy, stealing our money, right? So you might want to put it on sleep mode or just turn it off completely, right? Invest in rechargeable batteries, devices such as the Energizer Recharge Rapid Charger. Here's another plug I'm giving you guys. That's what I get for reading an article. Okay, so you may want to invest in a rechargeable battery station or something like that. Okay, those are some things when it comes to purchases, guys, that you may want to look at. All right, and then it goes into different products that you can get, and I'll have you guys can look at that on your own, that you can get to save energy. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you got something from that list of energy saving tips and tricks that that you can do right now. So if you got dishes just sitting that you haven't washed, you may want to clean those. If you got a pot that you haven't washed but you keep cooking in it, you may want to save. I mean, you may want to go clean it right now. You want to go wash it right now. Okay, you want to make sure that freezer is packed. Okay, you don't want to put 2 or 3 dishes in the dishwasher because you feel so important that you can't wash dishes with your hands and all that stuff, right? So, but if you're living like that and you got you're not worried about money like that, who cares, right? What I said today probably doesn't matter, but for those of us that every dollar counts, then this stuff does matter. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you listening. Hope you got something from it. Claudette, I appreciate you coming on supporting. Paragirl Lighthouse, appreciate you coming on supporting. And guys, you have a good one. I'll see you next time.